So here we have the latest sneaker news for this week, and there's a few things that I suppose are worthy of mention, and so I'm going to go through the sneakers now. And the first one up is the Nike Spiridon Cage 2 Wheat. So I reviewed the silver version of these, and it's a really nice sneaker on foot, and one of those sneakers that I feel it has a really sort of light upper, and the comfort level is pretty good on these actually, and one of the better, I suppose, Air Zoom type models. And with this particular colorway, I'm not feeling it though, but I do like the model. And then also we have a drop of the on the 27th of September was the Taka Asics one, and this to me just looks okay. It's by a rock band, but I'm assuming it's more from the Asian territory. But it's just one of those weird sneakers. It's a bit too out there for me, and I kind of like strange looking sneakers or something that's different, but this one's a bit too different for me. And also just recently announced was the Cenat Swoosh Nike Air Max 1, and this is the low poly colorway. And I'm not mad at this particular sneaker, and it's one of those ones where I suppose because it's just taking the standard Air Max and kind of almost polygon, having sort of sharp edges instead of all the round edges on a typical Air Max 1, and that does look nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if I need it in my collection, I guess. But overall, it's not one of those models that, like I said, it's not too bad, and I do like it, but I won't be too mad if I miss out on them, I guess. And then you also got this Jaylen brown, which was announced, and it's supposed to be 22nd of October at the moment, and it's called the 741 Performance Rover. And what I like about it is it's one of those sneakers that initially I thought it was laceless, and I thought, oh, that's quite cool actually, and it seems that it's got maybe like a shroud going over the top. I don't know, underneath it looks like there's some lace holes going on, so it's at the sort of top of the sneaker. And I think I'm going to reserve judgment for now because I think it depends on the colourway. This particular colourway I'm not really interested in because I'm not a black and gold fan. And then on the 2nd of November, it looks like Amine have recently announced a New Balance collab, 740 V2 Benson Tech. And I've not seen this model before, the 740 V2, but it's one of those ones that looks quite similar to, I suppose, a New Balance 530 mixed with a 1906R. And I'm not really that interested in this particular colorway, and maybe again depends on the colorway that you have, for this model. At the moment, the model's not really grabbing me. And then something that's releasing on the 2nd of October and got sort of official images for is the Air Jordan 14 Black Toe. And if the leather quality, I don't know whether that's like just sort of pebbled pattern on there, or if the leather quality is going to be very good. But I expect these to be still quite sort of limited, if I'm honest. I think in the US they'll probably have a big drop, but in the UK and EU we tend not to have that many Air Jordan 14s released, and if they do, it's in very limited numbers. So I may have to sort of go towards the resale market for these, but a very clean pair, and one of my favourite Air Jordan 14 colourways, if not the favourite. And then we've got the Nike Air Force 1 Low Western. I don't think anyone's asked for these particular sneakers, and probably going towards, I suppose, the more shoe type vibe, which I guess is the sort of incoming trend at the moment. But I'm not a fan of these. I'm a fan of the colorway, but not a fan of the, I suppose, the shoe type take on it. And then also recently shown is the Nigo Nike Air Force 1 Low Light British Tan. So this follows the multicolored version. And I initially looked at these pictures and I thought, oh, that's actually really nice, and I'm really interested in those. But then I found out that the toe box and the medial and lateral side of the sneaker contains that sort of furry material, which I'm not a fan of. But I'll reserve judgment for now, but I do like the colorway. But I think that's what's going to probably put me off this particular sneaker. But I imagine if they're pushing the Air Force 3 with a collaborator, that I'm sure there'll be the standard OG colorways coming soon as well. And I think I had a pair of these when I was younger as well, actually, back in '88. And also we have the Nike SB PS8 Alternate Olympics. So I've got the Olympics colorway for this, which I ended up grabbing. And I actually really like these sneakers. They are firm on foot, but I like the way they look, and it kind of gives a nod to the past, but also to the future. And it's a nice sort of lightweight sneaker, especially if you're a skateboarder as well. It's got sort of the hard wearing material on there, but also being sort of fly knit, so very lightweight at the same time on the upper. So it's a very good sort of, I suppose, summer skateboarding shoe. So here we have the Air Jordan 1 High OG Deep Royal Blue, and this is part of the Rare Air Pack. And out of the 3 sneakers that have been announced, the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4, and this Jordan 1, I think this is my favourite, if I'm honest. But to me, it's one of those sort of hybrid sneakers. It kind of looks like a Union, but not. And but I'm not mad at it, but I'm also not jumping, to grab a pair, I suppose. And then a colorway that I'm not a fan of. I just don't like a lot of red on sneakers, and this is the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. I know it's supposed to be a classic, but for me, I'm just not really that interested in it, especially seeing these early images. Just not a fan of them in general. I think, it's an acquired taste in my opinion. And then we have the New Balance 1906M. This is in 2025. And I suppose the sneaker is taking on the whole 1906R theme, but having a slightly retweaked upper. And currently, I'm going to reserve judgment on these again. I think it depends on the colorway, but at the moment, it's not as grabbing me as much as a 1906R. But I suppose that depends on, like I said, the colorway, and maybe also getting a pair in hand to see what they look like. And then also, what's releasing in and it's to be confirmed at the moment, is the Nike Dunk Low Love and Peace. And this is a sneaker with got sort of Velcro patches on the tongue, and it's made up of all sort of different materials, so it's quite cool in terms of its look. But again, it's a Nike Dunk at the end of the day, so an acquired taste for for a certain person. And then also we've got the Nike Air Max 95 Hyper Crimson. This is to be announced, but I'm assuming it's going to come out anytime in sort of October, November, being that it's more of a winter colorway type shoe. And then also to be confirmed is the Air Jordan 2-3 Low Awkward. I imagine this is probably coming out quite soon as well, but I don't mind the Jordan 2 as a silhouette, and they're quite nice as like a formal smart wear shoe. However, with this hybrid model, again, I'm not mad at it, but I don't think it needed to be released, I guess. And then also, which I think is part of the Patriots, I suppose, celebration, for a guy called Robert Kraft, which I don't know nothing about, which I'm assuming is American football, but it's the Air Force One Flyknit. And this, the Flyknit model, I suppose, I really like, but I'm just not a fan of this particular colorway. Even though I like blue, it just feels a bit too busy for me. And then Puma, with their suede silhouette, are releasing a sneaker with Atmos, and it's called the Sukajan. I imagine it's probably part of the Chinese New Year in sort of January, February time, but I like the effort on it, with the embroidery going around the sneaker. But other than that, it's not something I would grab. It's probably a bit too loud for my taste. And we've seen these before, but I think there's some better pictures now of this AE2 or AE1 concept. And it's a sneaker that I'm gonna again reserve judgment for once you see better pictures. But at the moment, I'm not feeling them. And then we have the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Khaki. It's just a standard, different color from Nike to push out another colorway for the Vomero 5, and one of the best sneakers to grab and wear for everyday use. And this colorway I'm not mad at. Probably again more towards a winter colorway, but again it's not a sneaker that I would wear, I suppose, for winter time.